Hey geeks, it's Minx, and I finally finished the first season of Iron Fist on Netflix, and I wanted to give you guys my full review. Um, so, careful for spoilers. I don't plan on spoiling anything, but I might accidentally do that. So, if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch it and tell me what you think about it. First of all, I want to start off with it is still my favorite intro to these series. Compared to Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones. This is my favorite intro. I just like the style of it. It's my favorite. Um, Getting into the show though, I think I was a little more excited about this show than I probably should have been. Um, it kind of, the further I got into it, the more convoluted the story seemed to me, and motivations seemed to change in a blink of an eye. Like one episode, Danny's going in one direction, and then all of a sudden he changes his mind at the blink of an eye, and it didn't make any sense. So there's definitely some storytelling mistakes that could have been done better, especially compared to like Daredevil. Um, I'm going to be making a lot of comparisons to Daredevil because that's the show that started off this entire thing. Um, as a character, I feel like Danny is a little too childlike, angsty teenager like. He just always he gets so angry when things don't go out the way he planned, or he's trying to explain something and people don't understand. And I get that he hasn't lived in New York since he was 10 years old, and that he grew up with the monks and all that jazz. I get that part of it, but it still feels a little bit overdone at times and a little bit on the annoying side. Um, so that kind of pulled me out of this series, which sucks because I was actually hoping that this would end up being my favorite one um, out of the individual series. Um, Another thing that disappointed me is although they did a ton of homages to famous kung fu and martial arts fights, including a drunken master fight, the fighting scenes were not very tightly done. Um, we've seen amazing fight scenes in Daredevil where everything was just choreographed so beautifully and it just looked so brutal. And then, we had some fight scenes in, Luke Cage that were also pretty, you know, bare knuckle brawler type. And I'm wondering if maybe just the kung fu just seemed a little bit out of it. It's just a lot of the time it didn't even look like martial arts was happening. It was just very loose and not where it should have been for a show on Netflix. I don't know if I've just been spoiled by Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, but it just didn't come together in this particular show, which is really unfortunate. Um, so the story, I will say this. Rosario Dawson, who plays Claire Temple, otherwise known as the Night Nurse, she stole the show whenever she was on. Her acting was impeccable and very believable, and I love her character. I love how she's portraying the character, and I love the fact that she is one of the main ties between all four series. And I hope that that continues on a regular, standing, and I absolutely love her performance. Um, Getting to see Hogarth again, also being true to her character, which we met in Jessica Jones. Um, she plays the part very well as well. I just feel like the other characters, it was just kind of weak sauce, to be honest. So I'm actually gonna give not Daredevil. I'm gonna give Iron Fist a B minus because it did have some serious problems. Overall, it was still fairly enjoyable, but It's not anywhere near the quality that I would come to expect from one of these series. So if you liked my review, go ahead and hit that little red button down there that says subscribe and the little bell next to it so you get notified whenever I do a new video. I will see you guys on Monday with Once Upon a Time. And as always, tell me what you thought of the show. Did you enjoy Iron Fist? What did you think of it? Later, geeks.